Greetings and salutations, everyone. The Drinker's here, and I know this is a bit of an unusual time for me to be streaming on a Saturday night. Thursdays is normally my day, but I was fucking jet lagged to fuck, and I just could not bring myself to do any live streams for a couple of days until I'd recovered from getting back from Tampa. But hey, I'm back and up and running and doing stuff, and I'll be doing probably an open bar stream next week on Thursday, like usual. But yeah, I just thought, fuck it. I've got a little bit of time this evening. It'd be good to catch up and say hello to everyone. And talk about a few of the things that are going on at the moment. Yeah, it's been quite an eventful week. I mean, first up, had an absolute fucking blinding time at Tampa Comic Con, man. That was great. Met hundreds of people. Had an absolute blast. No one tried to murder me. I was extremely surprised. But no, honestly, it was fucking brilliant. Couldn't have asked for a better experience out there. Could have done with the weather being slightly less boiling hot because damn, man, that was tough going. Especially for a Scottish guy. We are not built for conditions like that. But yeah, it was great fun, and I do really appreciate everyone who came to visit me. Fucking sold all the copies of my book that I brought with me. I brought like a couple of hundred and they were all gone by the end. Yeah, so it was fucking fantastic. And yeah, my big thanks to Rick and Alex, who I know people who are watching this probably won't know who they are, but they're the people behind the scenes who actually make all this stuff work. And yeah, they kind of facilitated the whole thing. They even let me meet William Shatner. I posted up a picture of me and him on Twitter, and apologies for the shit quality, but it was like literally a photograph of a photograph. Just while we were in the convention hall getting ready to go back to my booth to meet people again. So it was done in the space of about 30 seconds. But yeah, it was really fucking cool to meet him. When you've spent the whole weekend having people come up to you and tell you how amazing they think you are, you start to get a bit of a big head and you get that attitude of, well, I'm kind of a big deal around here. And then you meet someone like William Shatner and it just brings you right back down to earth. That man absolutely does not give a fuck. And I can't help but respect it, man. If I was 91 years old, I wouldn't give a fuck either. But it was awesome to meet him. So that was that. It was a great experience. Yeah, not so great experiences. I watched Prey last night. I'm probably going to try and do a review tomorrow, but I guess I could just I can give a few little thoughts here while I'm chatting. It's a movie I could best describe as comprehensively meh. It wasn't as bad as I feared it would be, based on the trailer, but man, it's not exactly setting the world on fire either, and I don't really get this wild praise that people seem to be heaping on it. Like, it's the best movie since the first one. Like, no, it fucking isn't. And it definitely ain't no masterpiece. If I had to rank it, I would say it's probably, well, it's above The Predator, because that's not exactly hard. I probably liked it more than the Aliens versus Predator Requiem. It's not as good as Predators or Predator 2, and it's nowhere fucking near the first one. So it's kind of in the middle of the pack. I think the premise was interesting, and I think I talked about this when I reviewed the trailer. Like setting it in the past, and putting the Predator up against Native Americans, like someone with completely different levels of technology, but they're good at hunting and stuff. It's all a neat idea. It doesn't get realized particularly well. I didn't think any of the characters had a huge amount of personality. None of them were particularly interesting. The lead, she's not the complete Mary Sue that you might think she'd be. She does actually struggle a little bit, and she makes mistakes, especially in the early part of the movie. And she does actually make some interesting, like, smart decisions. I think they clearly took some principles of hunting and actually applied it to this. So like they actually, they do think tactically at times. And yeah, the Predator doesn't have like a plasma caster or anything. So it sort of is at the right level of technology. And it's never really explained why it doesn't have one. I think excuse me, just having an evening meal. Yeah, I think it's almost implied that because it's in the past, like this is a couple hundred years before it meets Dutch and the rest of the boys, it just hasn't invented that kind of technology yet. Which is weird because they've mastered like interstellar space travel. You'd think they could handle like some energy weapons, but yeah, it just kind of shoots blades and stuff at people. So it's not a complete mismatch, I suppose. It is nice and gory, which is good. And it actually takes itself seriously. This isn't like a goofy, quasi comedy like The Predator. It's actually a serious movie as far as it goes. But yeah, the first the first act is probably the most interesting. It's got the most promise to it because it's just setting things up. The second act's a bit slow. I think that's the problem. Like it's probably about 10-15 minutes too long. Just a lot of really sluggish scenes where it should be starting to speed up a little bit. And I think this is one of the hallmarks of like the first movie. It's airtight. Like there's not a minute wasted in the script for the first Predator. It's absolutely as streamlined as it can be, and this isn't. It's a bit flabby at times. The dialogue is shit. Like I know they filmed two versions of it, so you've got one in like the original Comanche, which I'd be interested to watch actually, just to see what kind of different experience it is. But like when you watch the English version, the dialogue is very like 21st century ish. They use a lot of phrases. Like at one point, a character says "okay," like I'm sorry. Like if you're a French trapper, which is what this guy is in like the 18th century, I think it's like 1716 it's set, you would not use the word okay. Like fuck that. It's so dumb. So there's a lot of shit like that just takes you out of the movie. I don't think the main actress is particularly great. Like she doesn't look like someone who could hunt and kill things. She looks like a kind of pretty soft girl in her early 20s, which I assume is what she is. And like she doesn't seem particularly tough or anything. And when she's like doing crazy moves, like throwing out a fucking war axe at things, she's got like a rope attached to it, so she can throw it at a tree and it'll impale the tree, and then she can yank it out and catch it. It's like very, very obviously CGI'd. Same with like the animals in it. There's times when there's like a bear or a lion or whatever, and it like clearly none of that is real. It just like the CGI looks really dodgy. And you can very much tell the movie was on a budget. Someone was asking me there, so if the Native Americans speak English, which the French actually spoke French, so the French do speak French, and there's no subtitles for them, so you've got no fucking clue what they're talking about. It's also very obvious like how they're trying to manipulate you into hating these guys, like in Avatar, right? That briefing scene where Colonel Quaritch is trying to rally his men because they're going to go into battle against the Na'vi, and he's like, "We will fight terror with terror." And then you look out at the Marines, and like a bunch of them are just like Bubba rednecks with like mullets and like beer guts, and just clearly designed to make you have a negative opinion of them. Well, times that by about 100, and that's what they do with like these French trappers, because basically they're there hunting buffalo and stuff, and they are aware of the predator, and so they eventually like capture the main character and use her to draw it out. But like, so they're hunting it as well, but it honestly portrays them as like retarded cavemen, the way they act. Like they're like grunting and shuffling around. Like honestly, they're practically like rolling on the ground and eating their own shit. Like they're that primitive looking. Like the movie goes all out to make them look as awful as possible, so that you don't feel bad for them when they start getting killed. I mean, yeah, it's really manipulative as fuck. Whereas naturally, the Native Americans are all like super clean cut and athletic and generally awesome looking. Like they look like they came out of catalog, like they're catalog models basically. So it's like, yeah, I see what you're doing, movie. You're not as smart as you think you are. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that came to mind. The Predator looks weird now. I don't know how to describe it, but like it doesn't look like a predator when it takes its mask off, and I don't know if it's meant to be that it's like a female predator or a different breed of predator, or a less evolved version. Although I don't know how far you can evolve in like 300 years. Like that's not much, but yeah, it looks really odd when it takes its mask off. So yeah, that's a weird thing that stood out, and I knew they would do this. The fucking flintlock pistol from Predator 2, which has got an engraving on it, and a date. It's like 1716. Wouldn't you know it? It's the fucking pistol that ends up in the main character's hands at the end of the movie. And it doesn't make sense as a tie-in because that pistol ends up in the hands of the Predators. So it kind of made me think that, like, after this movie was over, like, the Predators just roll in and massacre everyone in her village and then take the pistol and then eventually give it to Harrigan in LA 300 years later. Fucking hell. Yeah, this is what happens when you just try to do a tie-in without actually thinking about the implications. Yeah, someone said there, it's just member berries. That's all it is. It's like, remember the pistol? Well, here it is. This is the backstory to it, and it's really shit. Honestly, man, my man of the match award goes to the dog. Like, the main character's got a dog that's like accompanying her on hunts and stuff. And man, that thing's awesome. It's like super well trained. It conveys like loads of emotion. Like, I don't know how you can get an animal to convey emotions in a scene, but it somehow does. It's like perfect every time. And like, damn, I identified more with the dog than I did with any person in this movie. So yeah. It's probably the best part of the film for me. Yeah, so that's I guess all I can think of with Prey. It's not terrible. It's definitely not a great movie though. It's just kind of reliably meh. And it does try to manipulate you a bit too much. And yeah, there's a few times when it does hammer home the whole girl power message, because you know, the whole point of the main character, and I can't even remember her name. I don't think anyone even says it to her, like, at any point. You never get told it. Yeah, she just wants to be a hunter. That's her character arc, and then she does become a hunter at the end by killing the predator. There's not a lot to her really as a person, and it's weird because I don't think there's any real restrictions on women hunting in that culture. Like, it's never implied that there's a law against it or anything. It's more just like, it doesn't happen very often, you know, so everyone's like, yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to do this. And she does kind of like fuck up on a hunt early on, so it just makes people think that she's not cut out for this. But like, theoretically, there's nothing to stop her doing it. It's that's all there is. And so she eventually does become a hunter because she fights the predator, and that's it, really. And I think she somehow becomes like the leader of her tribe after that, because that's all it takes, I guess. So yeah, that's my take on Prey. I mean, I'll do a proper review of it tomorrow or something, I guess, if I've got time, and give my thoughts in a bit more coherent way. But there you go. Have I seen Nope yet? Nope, I haven't. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I care enough about Jordan Peele at this point to watch it. But you know, I've heard some good things about it, so maybe it's all right. I'd be interested anyway. Yeah. Yeah. She does wear war paint constantly. Like, you'd think that shit would like irritate your skin or something, but yeah, apparently she does. Yeah. Her name was Mary Sue. Yeah, she's, like I say, she's not perfect. She's not a Mary Sue, but like, she's not a very interesting character either. Like, there's just not a whole lot of personality there to her. I mean, you said it, not me. Damn. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, it was damn, Batgirl getting cancelled. That was some weird shit, man. I don't know how much I can say, but like, I've got the, you know, I've had the opportunity to talk to the directors of it. You know, I had them on this channel like a few months ago, I think it was. And how times have changed, because they were all excited about the film they were working on, and then boom, the rug just got pulled out from under them. And yeah, like, I was waiting to fly home from Florida. I saw the fucking news reports about it, and so I messaged them and said, like, is this shit real? Like, is it actually being cancelled? And yeah, I just suddenly got this slew of messages from both of them saying like, yep, can't fucking believe it. Like, we found out when you did and contacted our producer, and he confirmed like, yep, it's been fucking killed by the studio. Yeah, and they were given no real warning, no explanation. They were in the midst of recutting the movie, because the way they described it, they did their first test screening, which was like not even a director's assembly cut. It was like the way the studio mandated it to be, and it was absolute shit. They admitted that, but they were in the middle of like recutting a better version that was tighter and going to fix a lot of the problems, only to be told, yeah, you're not getting it. It's getting shit canned. And there it goes. That was the movie gone. So, I mean, I feel for them. I really do. Like I said in my video the other day, I don't doubt that it was a bad film, especially the one in the test screenings. And it was certainly founded on bad ideas, doing a race swap version of Barbara Gordon that was eventually going to supplant like actual Batman. That's not going to win people over. But yeah, like they obviously were just people brought in to do a job, and they did it the best they could. And then suddenly they're tarred with this brush now forever. It's like, yeah, your movie was so shit that it's not even going to get seen by anyone. Like, god damn, that's a tough pill to swallow. So yeah, I hope it doesn't reflect too badly on them, because they did seem like good guys, and I think they actually wanted to engage with the fans, which is a rare thing nowadays. So yeah, we'll see what comes of that. But it is, like I said in my video, I think there's way more to this than just the movie was bad. Like, Warner Brothers have released a shit ton of bad movies in their time. Look at Wonder Woman 84. Look at Birds of Prey. You can't tell me those scored highly in the fucking test screenings. And you can't tell me that they would have looked at them and said, yeah, that's a great film. I'm sure this is going to do really well. Like, they're happy to put these things out there. And whatever you put into the cinema, even if it only makes, 10, 15, 20 million dollars against like an $80 million budget, well, you've offset some of your losses. It's better than nothing. It makes me think, as I said in my video, that the studio is completely changing direction. I think Zaslav that's been brought in, he's just realized like this shite that we've been trying to make work in Hollywood for the past like 5 or 6 years, the way we've been trying to push the message, and race swap characters, gender swap characters, like just focus on all this identity politics crap. I think they've realized it's just not working, and the more we try and push it, the more people are pissing off. We need to just stop now, and maybe this is the start of it. They've shit canned this. They've shit canned Supergirl. Flash doesn't seem to be far behind, by the way. I struggle to believe that they would can a $200 million movie at this point without even showing it. But Ezra Miller is fucking box office poison, so shit, man, anything could happen at this point. Yeah. Sorry, that was a good one. View on the Black Panther trailer. I think the trailer was really good. A lot of that, I think, just comes down to they picked a good song, which was emotive and was very appropriate for, what's happening in the wake of Chadwick Boseman dying. So it plays a lot on that. But, it doesn't show a huge amount of what's actually going to happen in the film. It's just a lot of people being sad because Black Panther's dead now. If it is going to be Shuri actually playing the role and taking up that mantle, I can't see that working. I don't think the character is particularly likable. I don't think the actress is amazing. Just isn't going to be enough to support a movie. So yeah, I've got no particular faith in that shit. And yeah, I've said before, like, I didn't think the original Black Panther was an amazing movie. I think it was a cultural moment, and it was to the point where people were just terrified to criticize it. It was really like a pretty dumb plot with a lot of like inconsistencies and holes. Wakanda just seems like an absolutely bonkers place that could never possibly exist. But everyone's just now screaming like Wakanda forever. It's like, you're not meant to like this place. It's not meant to be a good place. Yeah, mental. But I don't know if that kind of enthusiasm is going to boil over into this one. It probably will, because Chadwick passed away and it's going to be a tribute to him, and they're going to lay it on thick as fuck because they know they're going to make loads of money out of it. So, yeah, it'll be what it'll be, I suppose. Yeah, here's one. Wait, someone was asking me about Amber Heard. Yeah. Do I think her career is over? For the short term, yes. She is fucking unemployable at this point. The rumors are swirling that she's been replaced by Emilia Clarke for Aquaman 2. I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know if they would have the balls to do it, and I don't know if they've got the money to do it. But I bet if I was Zaslow at the moment, I would be desperate to get rid of her. She is an anchor that's going to drag your studio down, sir. So yeah, if I was any kind of filmmaker, I wouldn't employ her. No fucking way. And I think in some ways she kind of deserves it. Like, yeah, she doesn't seem like a good person, really. And if she was a dude, her career would have absolutely been over by now. So I'm all for equality. You know what I mean? Yeah, Emilia Clarke would be a terrible replacement. Someone said that there. I'm just trying to bring it up. Yeah, there it is. She's not an action character like Terminator Genisys proved that. She can't do action, she can't do fighting or anything. I think the basis or the comparison is just solely that she's got like a passing physical resemblance to Amber Heard, so I guess that's why it would make an easier transition. And she's probably not that expensive now, because what the fuck's Emilia Clarke up to these days? Not a lot. So anyway, all right, give me 1 second, because I know there was super chats coming in while I was speaking, so I'm going to try and answer a bunch of them so I don't let them pile up too much. Pardon me for a moment. All right. First one was from Horsemeat, who says, Drinker, as I sit here drunk and depressed about the future, you are probably my favorite YouTuber on the planet right now. Just keep doing what you're doing and stay awesome. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And I'll just keep being honest. That's all I can do, man. Give my honest opinion about things like Prey. You know, it would be easy for me to just hate on every aspect of the film and say it's absolute dog shit just because maybe people are expecting that. But no, I want to be fair. There are good aspects to it. And so I want to try and give a balanced, fair review and let people make up their minds about it. John Douglas says, the drinker never disappoints. I don't know, just ask Tatiana, man. Night King 01 says, how was Prey? I thought it was okay. As I was saying there, it was meh. It was a thoroughly meh kind of movie. It's in the middle of the pack as far as Predator films go. It lays on the message a little bit too thick, and you know, a lot of the dialogue shit. But there's some nice gory action in it, and so there's some redeeming qualities to it. So I'll be interested to talk more about it actually when I do my review. Willie Plays says, speaking of your book, do you self-publish? No, I don't. If so, do you have any tips for someone who may want to self-publish a book? No, I'm sorry, I don't have any tips on that, mate. I've never self-published in my life, so I don't really know how it works. Yeah. I just I've been lucky enough to find publishers, so yeah, I've done okay there, I guess. Big Rog, give me a thumbs up. Thanks, man. Neo's Danger says, have you seen the Star Wars The Old Republic cinematics? No, I haven't actually, so I don't know if they're any good. 87 Sparky says, love your work. Was Florida too hot for you? But I feel your pain. I live here. I was in Glasgow last year when you all have the best summer. Yeah. Our summer is like your winter in Florida, man. But yeah, we were hitting 40 degrees Celsius in Florida on quite a few days. Normally at this time of year, it rains every afternoon. There was none of that. It was just burning hot sun every day. And fuck, man, like you go out walking just 5-10 minutes in the afternoon, you're sweating. Like it just starts almost immediately, and that heat doesn't let up. Fortunately, the convention center was relatively cool, so that was all right. But I tell you, man, the last night I was there, I went to Orlando, and we had a meetup at a place called the Ice Bar, and it literally has an entire room made of ice. And you get given coats as you go in, and I just went in with my shirt on, and I was just in heaven. I was like, this is perfect temperature for me. Finally, some relief. Krusty Juggler says, I watched Prey last night. I honestly had a blast with it. The writing, the dialogue, and the characters were so terrible that I spent the whole movie laughing my ass off. I would watch it again just for the laughs. Fair play, man. Yeah, it's the dialogue and stuff were shit, like I said. Red Muskrat says, have you reviewed What Dreams May Come? No, I haven't, I'm afraid, mate. I haven't seen that. Dan says, best regards from Natalie Portperson. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. I'm sure she's my biggest fan now. Her arms are fucking fake, though. And I'll die on that hill. Shaka, When the Walls Fell. That was a great episode of Star Trek, man. It was great. The Predator who could falcon punch a grizzly to death. Yeah, that was quite a good fight scene. Couldn't overpower Naru's plot armor and have its blows deflected with ease. Yeah, that was ridiculous. This thing is powerful enough to take on a bear and wrestle it to the ground and then fucking kill it. But yeah, somehow like it can hit her when she blocks it with like a fucking piece of wood or a shield or whatever, and like it doesn't instantly shatter all the bones in her body. Yeah. A lot of the fight scenes are very carefully choreographed so that she never actually takes a direct hit from anything. Even like when she fights like 5, 6, 7 guys all at the same time, like in the French camp when she's escaping. Yeah, it's all very carefully choreographed. So whenever they punch her, she rolls out the way or whatever. It never connects. And yeah, she's just like an absolute machine, and it's not really all that believable. Robert Feldman says, Drinker, meeting you at Tampa Con was awesome. Thanks, man. I bought all your audiobooks and joined your Patreon. Thank you very much, mate. Patreon is not very active. Will you be doing things there, or have you abandoned it? Thanks. No. So with Patreon, like I reply to all the direct messages that come to me. So like I'm always there for communication. If you've got questions, you want to talk to me about stuff, like that's a perfect way to do it. And then yeah, I do like live streams for patrons only. And I do like post updates and stuff. Like sometimes I'll post up essays or reviews of things before anyone else gets to see the scripts for them, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I just haven't been able to do it over the past few weeks because, man, it's just been crazy busy. There's just too many things going on, particularly in the run up to Tampa, because I knew I was going to be out of contact for like a whole week basically, and I wasn't going to be able to produce any new content or anything. So I was trying to get as much done as possible before I went away. And that's part of the reason. But yeah, I'm looking forward now to getting back into it properly. How do you find an agent publisher? Go to my second channel, right? There's a video there called How to Publish Your Book in 5 Not So Easy Steps. And that tells you pretty much all my thoughts on like approaching agents, getting publishing deals, how to even finish that book and get like the first few chapters really well written, how to write a cover letter for your agent, all those kinds of things. Everything I can think of to help you with your writing and publishing, it's there. So yeah, go and take a look at that video. It's on my second channel, like I say, and that'll help you out. I haven't seen The Sandman on Netflix, I'm afraid, so I can't answer that one. Sorry, man. Warrior Tears says, Drinker, it was amazing meeting you in Tampa. We got that epic Predator picture together. Cheers, brother. Awesome, man. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was great fun, man. Honestly, there's so many people I got to meet. You were all great fun to talk to. And yeah, I very much appreciate it, mate. I even got this t-shirt here. Predator, I had to do it. Infernal 460 says, favorite beer? Keep up the good work. Thanks. Cheers, man. And yeah, my favorite beer of the moment is Innocent Gun Lager, which you get over here in Scotland. I don't know if you get it in the States. I never saw any, but yeah, you guys had a good IPA out in Florida called Free Dive. I don't know if that's just a Tampa thing or whatever, but yeah, that stuff was great, man. I had that many a time in the evening. Provocateur Extraordinaire says, thank you for signing my Marxist copy of Ghost Target. Yeah, this was brilliant. This dude's there was some weird misprint that went on at the publishers, and so he got a copy of my book, one of them, and it was the outer copy of it, on the front cover and everything fine. And then when you open it up, it's like Marxist economic theory in China, a completely different book on the inside. So yeah, you hold on to that, sir, because that's a one of a kind. He also says, thank you for taking a photo with little Rorschach. Yeah, that was a brilliant outfit. My nephew loved it. Our small channel, A Reoccurring Disappointment, did a video discussing Comic-Con and meeting you. Nice one, man. You're the first time that I've ever been starstruck. So handsome. Cheers, man. You're going to have me blushing. I'm glad I got my sunglasses on. But yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you, man. And yeah, your kid had an amazing little Rorschach outfit. It looked so cool. The mask even changed colors. That was brilliant. Disneyfied Sunquist says, "Hey mate, really made my day seeing you and one of my other favorite YouTubers, Chris from Provost Park Pass, discussing whether Jurassic World 3 was good or not. You're both complete opposites." Yeah, we had a good little debate there. It was like one of the panel events. It was just good natured, bit of banter, and it was good fun, man. And yeah, I was just sitting there like drinking my Coke, which didn't just contain Coca-Cola. Let me tell you. But yeah, good fun, man. Algeron Sydney says, "Have you seen any Ken Loach movies?" Yeah, so he did things like, what's it called? It's like a dude who loses his job and he basically falls into the benefits system and gets completely fucked over. Hold on, I'm going to need to look it up because I cannot remember it for the life of me. Fuck. Come on, I can find it. And it is I, Daniel Blake, yeah. So yeah, I think Ken Loach tackles a lot of like social issues and shit in his movies, and this was a really good example of it. Yeah, good performances, and it's very natural because I think a lot of these people weren't really actors. So yeah, it shines a good light on some of the shit that people go through, man. So yeah, I have seen some of his movies, and they're pretty good stuff. Next one is Alexander Kanan says, "What's your favorite dinosaur?" Fuck. Styracosaurus, because I think that they've just got like a really cool. They've basically just got horns fucking sticking out from everywhere, and yeah, they look they look good. Salamander says, "Was there something similar to Sword Fight from Predators? That was the most dumb thing out of all the Predator movies." I don't know. That's up against some pretty stiff competition, man. There's been some serious dumb moments in The Predator. Basically, the whole movie was dumb. Yeah, so the main character, she does take on the Predator hand to hand, and she does a lot of like Matrix style flips, and you know, people do that thing where they fucking run up a tree trunk and backflip over, and then hit someone from behind, stupid shit like that. Yeah, a lot of that just to try and like compensate for her being like half its size. The Predator can also tank a ridiculous amount of damage for some reason. Like at one point, she does get that flintlock pistol that I told you about, and she doesn't really know how to work it, like or reload it, so she's only got one shot. And she lures it into a trap and then shoots it right in the back of the fucking head, and all it does is just like piss it off. But there's like blood, like the fluorescent green blood goes spraying out the front, like. Pretty sure you just blew its fucking brains out. Like, how is it still walking around? So, yeah, stupid stuff like that. This Predator just takes hits constantly and keeps going. Claudio Rogajan says, "Hey, Drinker, since She-Hulk is coming out, I watched the Ang Lee Hulk. Not nearly as bad or as boring as I remember, and actually has some interesting ideas." I didn't like that movie, man. I just felt like Ang Lee was not the person to direct a Hulk movie. You know, going from like the sort of flowing dreamlike quality of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon to a Hulk movie, it just doesn't seem to mesh. I mean, it has been about like 10 years at least since I've seen it, so maybe my opinion would change if I watched it now, but I remember hating it at the time. Will M says the Woman Empowerment was over the top, but a decent action film. Some beautiful nature shots. That's true. At least a step in the right direction from Shane Black's atrocity. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it doesn't like do anything particularly like smart or interesting, but it's definitely an improvement over that. I'll give it that much. Night King 01 says, "I don't understand how the Predator gets the pistol back. The original comic had a pirate give it to the Predator after it helped him." Yeah, I've not read the comic, but yeah, like that's like I said earlier, it kind of implies that the Predators just massacre everyone after this film's over and then take the pistol back. And they're like, "Ha ha ha, motherfucker." It's yeah, it doesn't make sense. And it's literally just there for member berries. That's the only reason they put it in there. Braydon says, "What do you think Avatar 2 will be like?" I think it's going to look gorgeous. I think it's going to be very expensive and probably dumb as fuck. kind of like the first one. Zach Luna says, "Hey Drinker, any hope for Andor? I'm holding out a tiny bit of hope that it's going to be good, but based on all the Disney Star Wars shows, I'm just inhaling copium at this point." I would inhale massive doses of copium in that case because, yeah, it's just going to be more of the same. It doesn't. It's kind of like, how can I put it? Right, Disney is like these Star Wars shows. It's like a girl who goes out on like a Saturday night, right? And she's got, say, her hair styled a different way or a different outfit on or slightly different makeup or whatever. And so she looks a bit different each time, but it's the same person underneath it all. It's the same basic thing every time. And that's what you get with the Star Wars shows. You know, it might have like a different main character or whatever, but it's going to have the same tropes in every single fucking show, ad nauseum. That's all you're going to get every time. And so, yeah, if you didn't like Boba Fett, if you didn't like Mandalorian, and if you didn't like Obi-Wan Kenobi, you ain't going to find anything that you like in this. It's just going to be the same shit. It's the same basic template. Next one is Johnny Z says, "Howdy, Drinker. Can you just speak this line?" What? I'm trying to read this one. "You're one gliam effer." What? You're all right. I'll try again. "You're one ugly MFer." Thanks. There you go. Some Brit says, "Isn't the predator ethos explained as it's the hunt that's important? So dropping to the level of your prey makes sense." Yeah, it does. And so you get a little bit in this film where at one point the main character's been trapped, like she's literally caught in a bear trap, and so the predator just kind of leaves her alone because she's not a threat then. So there is that, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's the movie's a bit unclear about whether or not the predators have plasma casters or just choose not to use them or whatever, or didn't bring them. But yeah, it just doesn't have access to that kind of weaponry. Although it does have, like, I don't know how to describe them. They're kind of like trip mines that it leaves at one point because it gets surrounded by like the French trappers, and it just drops this thing where these like mine things shoot out, and they're a bit like cluster munitions or something, and then they just detonate and like kill everyone. So yeah, they obviously have advanced weaponry, and it kind of makes me think they would have it as a backup. Like, okay, I'll try and use the primitive weapons to match who I'm up against, but if the shit hits the fan, I want that plasma caster there to get me out of it. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, so I think they can be tailored to some extent. You obviously see in Predator 2, they've got like quite different weaponry than they had in the first movie. Yeah, yeah, cluster munitions are illegal. Next one is Michael Gaskin, who says, "Love your stuff. Keep it up." Thank you, mate. Peter version 1 says, "Happy to see you looking like me, drunk and hungover. Cheers." I'm always drunk. I'm just upset that you look like I imagined you would be. Also, are you British or Australian or etc. Commonwealth? Thanks, you make me laugh. So last time I checked, I'm British, so I'm not Australian. Some people seem to think I'm Irish for some reason. It's weird. Bubba Frank says, "Hey, Drinker, I've only been here about 10 minutes, and in that short window of time, you just made more money than I made for 8 hours of CNC programming yesterday. Good job, mate. Cheers." Shit, man. Well, like you've clearly earned it more than I have. Like, I'm just shooting the shit here, but yeah, people have been incredibly generous. Yeah, you don't need to do this. I'm just here to banter. Infamo says, "I bet they knew it'd be a terrible release, so they're running a play by cancelling it and hoping to generate an artificial release the Snyder Cut kind of hype." Not based on the conversations I've had. Yeah, I don't think that's the studio's plan. I think they just genuinely axed the fucking thing. I know as well, like the production team were kind of scrambling to get the footage backed up because the studio were basically just going to come in and erase it. So it's not like it's going to be locked away. The film will literally just be deleted, and there'll be no copy of it anywhere. So yeah, I don't know if they actually got through with that. Leary says, you look very cute today. Oh, thank you, sir. Peter version 1 says, your review on the Orville or Prey. So I haven't seen the Orville properly to review it, but yeah, I've given my views on Prey already, so I'll talk about it more in my video. Angel Nazifi says, what sort of send-off could Chadwick's Black Panther get in the sequel? I don't know. Everyone seems to be mourning him, I suppose. So I don't know what they're going to say happened to him. Maybe they'll just go down the cancer route. I don't know. Bring it like really close to home. At this point, I kind of wouldn't put anything past Disney. The Smooth Fox says, what are the ways to practice fiction writing? I see all sorts of ways to practice drawing, but writing doesn't seem to have exercises to build the skill. It doesn't really. Like the best way to do it is write what you want to write, get people to review it for you, like honest people who kind of know their stuff, and give you feedback, and then gradually improve. That's the best way to do it, I guess. Scott Goodfellow says, worst post ever. Thanks for your channel. Cheers, man. Warsmith Karath says, new Flash movie retitled Groomer Zoomer. Yeah. Oh, Ezra. What a character. Minor Zircon says, my daughter has the Drinker plush in her crib. Oh, that's kind of terrifying when I think about it now. It's going to give her nightmares. Let me just refresh the list here. Oh, yeah, here we go. So Chris Curran says, awesome meeting you in Orlando. Great time. Thank you, my friend. I had a blast myself, so pleasure. Claudio Rogajan says, forgot to say, but give me Hulk 2003 over something like Thor Love and Thunder any day. At least it's about something, and Nick Nolte is pretty good in it. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, and it like there was an actual attempt to do something interesting. Like Thor Love and Thunder was basically just a 2-hour Taika Waititi ego trip from what I can see. Ewan Mulhern says, is it just me, but do modern movies hate men? Yeah, it's not just you, man. They absolutely do. I know it sounds bitter and stupid, but every movie and TV show is so anti-male and how evil and stupid we are. I only watch 2000 movies now. I don't blame you. I really don't. Yeah, I really struggle to find like good, strong, competent male characters in films now, at least mainstream films. They kind of, I don't know if they want to say they hate men, but they hate masculinity and they hate that traditional, like, strong male hero. Probably because the people that write them are just, whiny, insecure, embittered losers, and they just want to project that onto like anyone strong that they see. Like they resent it and they're jealous of it. So that's what you get. It's movies conceived out of spite and jealousy. Kelly Johnson says, are you going to review on House of the Dragon? So, I mean, I'll take a look at it when it comes out. Really not expecting good things about it. It seems to be pushing the message pretty hard based on those trailers. Philip Dawes says, for a laugh, if Amazon redid Excalibur, how do you think they would change it? Some light entertainment. I think they'd make all the knights of the Round Table female and probably black. Tell you, man, I joke about that now, but 10 years from now, we'll fucking have that. Angel Nazifi says, don't people realize that Jason Momoa and Emilia Clarke in Aquaman The Lost Kingdom is basically Game of Thrones all over again? Yeah. Well, we know they can fuck together on Game of Thrones, so yeah, might as well do it again. Peter version 1 says, what kind of cup is that? So this, actually, I got this when I was at the con. It's a Stein, and it's got the Cobra Kai logo on it. You probably can't see it very well because it doesn't show up that great on camera, but it's fucking great. It holds a decent amount of beer, so I'm very happy with it. And what better way to drink than with Cobra Kai on board? Richard Curtis says, hey, drinker, Godspeed, sir. Just wondered, is Dark Harvest still coming out this month? Yes, it is. Today's the 6th, so it'll be out in 10 days. So it's not long now. I like I say, I took like a couple hundred copies with me to the con. We sold all of them, which was great. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be good when it comes out, man. Next one is Master of Puppets. Welcome back, drinker. I wish I could have been there. My girlfriend badgered me into seeing Thor while you were gone. You poor man. As a Kiwi, I need to apologize for the casserole of nonsense that is Love and Chunder. Nah, it won't be fine. R.I.P. Marvel. Yeah. Taika Waititi, man. He's if there's not someone to restrain him a little bit and keep him on track, this is the shite that he produces. Just come up with a bunch of ideas, shoot them, and then come up with a story later, I guess. David Lamplow says, your thoughts on Bullet Train? I've seen it and highly recommend it for a change of pace, but the press hate it due to it being, quote, too white. That sounds about right. The trailers made it look, all right. I mean, hopefully it's better than that. I do like Brad Pitt, so it's always nice to see him on screen. So, yeah, I'll probably give it a watch. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it yet. Noxide says, something I really hated about the Lightyear film is the idea being pushed that the work Buzz was doing had to stop because everyone moved on. And guess what film contrasts that in its first 15 minutes? Yeah. Isn't that interesting, eh? It's like this idea, like, it's time for the hero to end and move on and make way for other people who deserve it more. And other films that involve fighter jets are just like, nah, fuck you. I'm done when I say I'm done. Love it. And which one's more successful? Claudio Rogajan says, what was it like meeting Nolan North? He was so fucking cool. Like I say, I got to meet William Shatner, but then there's basically like all the guys like Nolan North are there, like signing autographs and stuff. They're in the celebrity area, but there's like a corridor behind all of their booths where you can walk if you're kind of know the people that run the con or whatever. So I was brought back there, and at one point I was able to be brought out just to like talk to him and meet him. And he's so fucking nice. Like, he's chill. He actually gave up a fair bit of his time to speak to me. Didn't have time for a deep and meaningful conversation or anything, but I told him I was a big fan of his work on the Uncharted games, and that I think he's just a great voice actor. I think he's done great work, and looking forward to seeing him more things. And he was he was explaining he's going to be over in Scotland in a few months, and I said, well, if you're looking for places to drink, man, I can recommend a few for you. So yeah, great, really nice guy. Like I say, very generous with his time. So it was a pleasure to speak to him. Mitch Bolizchuk says, wife and I are about to watch Prey. Don't do it. We plan to riff on it mercilessly or be pleasantly surprised if it's good, or both. Either way, fun times. Cheers. That's probably the attitude to have, I guess. Even if it's shit, you can still have fun with it. So yeah, good luck, and I hope you get some enjoyment out of it one way or the other. Sindarian Ainu says, Drinker, have you seen Shadow of the Cloud movie? Yeah. All you taught us about Mary Sue movies and the message is there times 100. You real drunken master of pen and word. Yeah, that fucking movie, man. It's got some of the ridiculous shit in it. So it's like, that terror at 20,000 feet from the Twilight Zone, like with gremlins on the wing of the plane. It's a bit like that, but it's a woman and it's on a World War II bomber. And for some reason, she's in the fucking ball turret in the base of the plane. Just so much stupid shit happens in it. But yeah, the message is strong with that one. It was the same girl that played Hit Girl from the Kick-Ass movies. So yeah, it was really weird to see her grown up, because I haven't seen her in anything since then, basically. Brian Doyle said, ordered your book for vacation. Can't wait. Can you please do Moonfall? I watched that on the fucking flight home, man. Honestly, that's how starved for entertainment I was. It's spectacularly awful and worth a good roasting. It makes Armageddon look like Alien. Cheers. That's probably a good way of summing it up, actually. I kept watching it thinking it was a parody. I thought the humor is going to break out here, and they're just going to be like, yeah, it's just goofy fun. But no, it's played as a serious movie. Holy shit, it's dumb. God. Yeah. The moon's a giant robotic computer thing that's protecting Earth from an alien marauding force, and it's malfunctioning, and it's going to crash into Earth, and gravity goes haywire, and everyone almost dies. So, damn, man. Yeah, it's dumb as fuck. Shame as well, because it's got some good actors in it. Sebastian Smith gave me $10, so thanks, man. HVM says, hi, Drinker, have you seen Elvis? I haven't seen the actual musician, but I haven't seen the movie yet, and I've heard it's quite good. I enjoyed like Bohemian Rhapsody, so I kind of like these like biopics of famous artists and stuff, like a bit of insight into their lives. So I am going to see it one way or the other. T Centaurus said predators don't lose to 100-pound Indian girls. I mean, they shouldn't really, like, considering it blasts through like a good 20 or 30 armed men. Like, she really shouldn't stand a chance against it. Trent King says, can't believe you were here in Tampa. You're probably our first Scot. I'm sure there were others. Daniel Monroe says, good to see you back, drinker. Took you up on a recommendation recently and watched Extraction. What a damn fine movie. Keep up the amazing work, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I think that movie deserves a bit more love. I mean, like I say, it's not fucking Shakespeare, but it's just a good, solid action movie with a lot of killing and a lot of explosions. So, yeah, I'd like to see Hemsworth do more stuff like that and get the fuck away from Marvel. Jared says, not sure if you've watched The Terminal List on Amazon, but it's a breath of fresh air. Great story and action written by a Navy SEAL. Yeah, I have watched it and I've reviewed it. So, yeah, go and look back through my channel. I did a review of it a couple of weeks ago and I gave it a good review. I thought it was a decent show. Again, kind of like Extraction. It's not fucking going to win any Oscars, like anyone cares about Oscars anymore. But yeah, it's kind of solid action thriller with decent fight scenes and stuff. The CGI at times is a bit fucking dodgy. Like, you can really tell certain bits are green screened. And Chris Pratt does struggle with like the big, heavy emotional moments, but yeah, he's good for the fighting scenes. So yeah, I liked it overall. Chaotic Old Boar says, I like to pay for my entertainment that is value. I'd rather give this to you rather than watch any recent Marvel and Star Wars for free. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate the donation. Cody Griffin said, when you're in California, I'll buy you a drink, sir. Just finished Terminal List. Chris Pratt actually pulled off a tortured vet. Also looking forward to your review on Prey. I got to respect the strong women. Cheers, buddy. Yeah. Cheers, man. And yeah, like I say, Chris Pratt, I think, doesn't quite have the gravitas he needs at times, but overall, he was all right. Yeah, it's good to see him playing serious roles. James Middleton says, Drinker, love the channel. Have you seen Lord of War? Yes, I have. Needs the Drinker's review. Keep up the brilliant work all the way from Australia. Go away now. Thanks, man. And yeah, Lord of War is a great insight and a great sort of satire on the arms industry, and Nick Cage is great in it. Noctober says, Prey is better than The Predator 2018, but what did you think of it, bro? Yeah, like I discussed earlier, if you go back through the stream, I kind of gave my more detailed thoughts right at the beginning, and yeah, overall, it's a meh kind of movie. Fucking yeah, thoughts on Lady Gaga and Joker 2? Disaster. People like that can't act. Why would you put someone like that in it? Yeah. What are your thoughts on Ms. Marvel and the Netflix Daredevil series? Netflix Daredevil was fucking fantastic. I loved it. Vincent D'Onofrio was absolutely incredible. Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's Charlie Cox. Yeah, playing Daredevil. He did a great job in the role. The fight scenes were great. It was brutal. It was gritty. Yeah, Netflix really had it nailed, man. And it's such a shame that when they reboot it, it's going to be Disney-fied and it's going to be tame, and Daredevil's going to have his balls removed. And well, they've already done it to Kingpin when he appeared in fucking Hawkeye. And yeah, I imagine they'll just do more of that. They'll get completely dominated by strong female characters, I'm sure. Ms. Marvel didn't really get beyond the first episode. I kind of realized pretty quickly it wasn't for people like me. It's just this weird little teeny bopper thing, and I just couldn't bring myself to give a shit about it. I wasn't going to waste time watching the whole thing. Toxic 282 says, take a shot with me, drinker. I mean, I've only got beer, so I can't really do shots right now, but yeah, I'll take a drink, man. Thank you. Did some great tequila in Tampa, actually. I'll say that. It's just the thing when it's really hot. You don't want whiskey when it's boiling hot, but a nice tequila just goes down smooth. Glasbaugh says, woo, smash former Pfeiffer living south here. Going to be totally OT and ask your favorite Ian Banks book. And have you read the old Ruthless Reviews blog somewhere on the deaths of the internet? No, I haven't read that. But yeah, when it comes to Ian Banks, I've only read a couple, actually. I think The Wasp Factory that I read back in fucking high school. That was good stuff, man. That was proper like psychological horror almost. Yeah, that was some good stuff. But I haven't read any of his sci-fi, unfortunately. So yeah, that's meant to be really highly regarded. I did actually meet him once at an author event, and he was a super nice guy. This could only have been like, I don't know, a year before he passed away. No idea he was ill or anything like that. He seemed totally fine there. But yeah, just very like humble and very like chatty and just yeah, you know, happy to listen to other people and yeah, just a nice guy, I guess. I liked him. Caustic Man says, or Main says, enjoy your videos, man, especially the Fixer episodes and the Doomer rants that end in a weary go away now. Yeah. Sometimes that's what it's like, man. Sometimes I'm not even angry, I'm just burned out, you know, thinking about things getting vandalized, and that's what I end up with. But yeah, I haven't done a fix for quite a while, actually, a Drinker Fixies. I'm tempted to do one on Doctor Strange to try and fix Wanda in it. Because I think it can be done. I think I can fix her. So give me some time. I'll see what I can do there. Sir Lancelot says, have you ever covered Assault on Precinct 13? I haven't, no. It's, well, it's one of a very long list of movies that I'd like to talk about. Definitely one for the second channel. Axe Knight says, of course, the one-time drinkers visiting my hometown. I'm out of town. See, I timed it perfectly because I knew you were going to be away. How did you enjoy the scorching heat? I didn't. I think I lost about 20 pounds when I was there. I just fucking sweated it all out. But yeah, it was a nice break from Scotland, that's for sure. Catherine Rux says, hey, Drinker, do you review international films too? Yes. Netflix has this Indian film called Triple R. Check it out if you're interested. Yeah, I've heard about this. It's meant to be awesome. I'm definitely going to watch it because I've heard good things. Atom Zero says, please review Bullet Train, you sexy man. Guilty as charged. Can't recall having so much fun watching a movie. Even if you dislike it, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah, I'll give it a watch anyway and see what I think. People are saying here that it's meant to be pretty good. So yeah, how far wrong can you really go? Real Chicken Canada says, please do a recommend of Requiem for a Dream. Oh Christ, there's a depressing movie. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, that's a tough watch. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, it's one of those films where there ain't no happy endings for people. Steve Diversify says, big fan, keep rocking. Thanks, man. Name Not Found says, hope you tried Basil Hayden in Tampa. Loving the book. Great meeting you, and sorry if I rambled too much meeting you. I was very excited. Thanks for all the content as always. Thank you very much, man. I'm not sure who you were when I met you because, well, there was a lot of people, but yeah, it was a pleasure meeting all of you, man. Brett Flaherty says, thanks for the It's a Wonderful Life video, my new favorite film. Oh, everyone should watch It's a Wonderful Life. It will genuinely make your life a bit happier. Just harkens back to that great time when, yeah, films could really have a deep impact on you and actually make you feel good. Soto says, thoughts on Last Night in Soho? It was meh, in my opinion. Yeah, I watched that again just recently. Not one of Edgar Wright's finest. I'll have, you know, I think he's very much suited to that fast-paced action kind of style of movie making. You know, obviously the Cornetto trilogy, even Baby Driver. That's very much in his wheelhouse. Doing a kind of psychological thriller like Last Night in Soho, I don't know if it's quite his style. And the reveal at the end wasn't really that surprising. Like, you're going to see it coming pretty far off. The performances were great, though. Like, the main actress, can't remember her fucking name, but she was fantastic. Anya Taylor-Joy is always good on screen. So, yeah, the two of them together, they gave a great performance. Yeah, even Matt Smith was pretty good in it. Matthew Valente says, movies these days suck woke politics. Suck woke politics, toned down action that's barely even violent, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, very true. Very true indeed. That's one thing I'll say about Prey. It was violent. You know, they didn't tone it down for this movie, so that was good at least. Black Santa says, what's your thoughts on Jordan Peele's Nope? So, yeah, like I said earlier, I haven't seen it yet. Heard mixed things about it. Some people are saying it's shit. Some people are saying it's it's pretty decent and it's better than Us. So that's something at least. What's this? Yeah, thanks, man. You're a breath of fresh air in a world that's went to shit. Keep it up, my friend. Appreciate it, man. Next one on the super chat list was Ruben Smith, who says, "Have you seen The Boys season 3 yet?" No, I'm trying to muster up the energy to watch it. I'm dying to hear your thoughts. Love your reviews. Cheers from New Zealand. Yeah, I will get around to watching it. It's just damn, man. Watching a shit movie is one thing. Watching a shit TV show and knowing you have like 10 hours of viewing ahead of you, that's a tricky prospect. Rob Cortez says, "What's up, drinker? Have you watched any of the Iron Eagle movies?" Yes, Iron Eagle. Fucking classic 1980s movie, man. It's like a bit of Top Gun and Rambo mixed together. It's a weird concept, but it's great fun, man. It's so over the top. It's great. So yeah, I've seen the first one. I think there was about 3 or 4 they made eventually. I'm sure the last one had like some crazy like concept jet from World War II in it that's somehow still getting used. So it was a bit bonkers towards the end, but the first one was great. Wiggly Ghibli says, "I had to rewatch The World's End after watching your stream with Mauler reviewing it. I appreciate The World's End much more now. I'd recommend you check out Immaculate Conception of Little Dizzle. It's a cocktail of emotions." Okay. But yeah, I think World's End, that's a movie you appreciate more as you get older, man, honestly. It hits hard at the end. Nefarious says, "Avatar 2 is Aquaman 3. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Bearded says, "Thoughts on the Hulk being an absolute pansy now?" Yeah, he's been emasculated to fuck. I mean, I'm sure Mark Ruffalo was perfectly happy to do this because he seems like a gigantic pussy himself in real life. And yeah, I'm sure he was happy to be told exactly what to do by a bunch of strong female characters. But yeah, I remember when the Hulk was considered to be a terrifying adversary. Like, remember in the Avengers when Black Widow has to go and recruit him and she's genuinely shitting herself because he's that terrifying. Like, yep, that's a good way to build up his character. Now he's just a goofy comedy sidekick thing, and he's probably going to get owned by She-Hulk. So yeah, fucking whatever. Yeah, just trash all your best characters. I don't give a shit. Sebastian Smith says, "You ever play Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic games?" I'm afraid I don't know. I'd be curious to hear your take on writing in them. On the writing in them. Cheers. Yeah, I didn't really play them, man. They kind of passed me by. Matthew Valente says they're making Avatar sequels after The Way of Water. I think you said 4 there, 4 Avatar sequels. Yeah, I mean, considering this one's taken James Cameron like 10 years to make, I don't know how he's going to do that in his lifetime unless they're all filmed already. But are people crying out for Avatar movies? Are they really that good? I don't know, man. Mr. Dropkicker says, "Drinker, you loquacious lush. I've been reading the Ryan Drake novels and I've been enjoying them immensely. I'm on to Sacrifice right now. Any advice for an aspiring writer? Thanks." Cheers, man. And yeah, to be an aspiring writer, I guess it's an obvious one, but like first and foremost, you're going to have to produce a finished manuscript that you can submit to people. And that's the hard part. It's grinding away at writing a book. It's a slow process. It takes months and months, sometimes even years of work, night after night, and not a lot of people have the stamina to get that finished, to take on a project like that. So, best of luck to you. And like I said earlier, there's a video on my second channel talking about how to get published and how to approach agents and stuff. So that's everything I can think to say about it. Is like, go to that, have a watch of it, and hopefully it'll give you some good advice. Jan Javi says, "Drinker, I'm so glad I got to see you at Comicon. It was fun, but absolutely gutted I didn't get to say hi." How'd you not get to say hi? I was there. Also, how was the ice bar? Really hope you come to Florida again soon so I can meet you next time. Yeah, so like I said, the ice bar was great because it was made of ice and it was nice and sub-zero cold. So that was just me perfectly at home there. I could have stayed in there all night. but yeah, it was great fun. And yeah, a whole bunch of people came to that. And it was a total last minute thing. On the very day, it was like, yeah, so we booked this place. If you want to come meet me, come along. And I think we had like 20, 25 people or something. And yeah, not a huge gathering, but like they didn't have any time. So next time we're going to be better organized. And yeah, we're going to do a lot more when I'm there. Just Incredible says, Drinker isn't drunk enough to be SNP. Is anyone really? Toddzilla says, last night Doomcock gave you great praise. He was hoping you could someday be on his Sunday night pop culture breakdown stream. Here's to wishing. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. I mean, I quite often do a super chat catch up on a Sunday night, but if I can make some time for Doomcock, then yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a while since he's been on here, actually. It'd be good to have him on again. Trenchman says, are these Yautja bad bloods or regular predators? I assume they're bad bloods because they look different, but I don't know how all the different breeds work, so I'm not your guy to go to for that sort of thing. John gave me $20, so thanks, man. Night King 01 says, speaking of Patreon, the member stream. Yes, that's what I was talking about earlier. So now that I'm back from Tampa and I've actually got more time, I can actually get these things organized. So yes, there will be one soon, and I mean that this time. Morgan Scott says, a great way to end a 53-hour work week. Shit, man. Cheers. Yeah, man. I hope you're relaxing with a couple of beers, and I'm sorry you've only got me to listen to right now. Andrew Ridley says, hail Drinker. Would you ever do a Drinker recommends video for Michael Mann's Heat? Yes, I would. Still my favorite of all time. Has a great cast. Yep. Great cast, great dialogue, great action scenes. What's not to like? It's just one of those films, man, I've just never quite gotten around to reviewing. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. 1 second here, just while I refresh. Sorry, I'm scrolling down because there's quite a few come in. I can't keep up with them. Still going. Oh yeah, here we are. So Jonas Diaz says, perhaps Zaslav needs the Flash to reset the DCEU and Batgirl ain't part of it. Recommend seeing Star Wars Visions Season 1 shorts, in my opinion, exceptions to post-Disney Star Wars. Okay, yeah, I never watched any of the Visions stuff, so I don't know if it's meant to be good or what, but you seem to think it's quite good. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the Flash. It was originally meant to be killing off Ben Affleck's Batman, but I think they've changed their minds there because now he seems to be cropping up in everything. Jaborge says, I'd be an angry drunk with that crap blue color on the wall. What are you saying, man? I love this color. It's like nice and like dark and bold. Yeah, I didn't want just like a fucking white walled office. Like, it's boring as fuck. So yeah, I find it calming. Lee Brady says, have you ever been to Ireland? And if you have, did you enjoy it? Yeah, so I've been to Dublin a few times, done a bit of drinking there. The Guinness is superb. It genuinely is the best Guinness you can get from the source. Yeah, I want to see more of Ireland, actually, considering how fucking close it is to where, to Scotland. I've barely spent any time there. So, yeah, I'd like to tour it a little bit. But yeah, it's the bits that I've seen were great, and the beer was awesome. Peter Version 1 says, with the movie Prey, wasn't it known the Preds got more gear the higher level they were? If so, how did this, who everyone says is low-level Predator, get so many toys to play with? I mean, it doesn't have a plasma caster, so I don't know if you get the more powerful weaponry later, but yeah, like it's got a whole bunch of stuff that's less useful than just having a plasma caster on your shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, there's a million like super specific weapons that only work for that one action scene that it's in, rather than just having a general purpose weapon that's good. But yeah, I think they do have to earn their gear as they go up, because this Predator starts out just killing like wolves and stuff. Just, basic Earth predators that can barely harm it. Chungus says, what's your personal most underrated film? Mine is The Book of Eli. Underrated? I'm going to say Predator 2, actually. There you go. I'll keep on the Predator theme. I actually think that's a good movie. And I was watching a little bit of it last night after Prey, and I was totally like invested in it again. Fucking, I love King Willie and his voodoo posse. I love the Colombians. Like, they're all like high on coke the whole time. I think Harrigan's a great character. I love Danny Glover in it. It's a good movie, man. And it doesn't get nearly enough love. The Legend of the Traveling, I can't see the rest of your name there. They say, never meet your heroes. Honor to meet you twice. Need to come back again. Posting your pictures soon. Tail Drinker. Yeah, tag me on Twitter, man, so I can see them, because, took my picture with like basically everyone who came up to my table, and I haven't seen many of them online, so it'd be good to see. Geostone says, thanks for the great work. I would gather that Batgirl would be a tax write-off if they have no income from the movie. I don't know how that works, to be honest, because I don't think you can just write off that money that's been invested. You're not going to make any like revenue back from it, unless they've got some kind of insurance on the movie. Like, so if it never gets actually released, it's like a clause in it or something. But yeah, I'm not sure how that would work at all. Tabitha Provan says, pro tip, skip Black Panther 2 and review Meteor Man instead. Fantastic superhero film, mostly AA cast, a gem. Okay. Never heard of that. Just Proto says, for all the pandering about the message, giving Shuri the mantle of Black Panther wouldn't be the worst thing. She was a bright spot. I don't know, man. I found her insufferable as fuck. That bit when she says to Bruce, like, I'm sure you tried your best. I was like, oh, fuck off. I just wanted him to hulk up right there. Just patronizing as fuck. Jane Cobb says, just finished watching Prey, thought it was solid, and I'm no tinfoil hat conspiracy guy, but I kind of thought they may have watched your trailer review and did some heavy editing. I think it would have been too late by that point. And I don't think they would give that much of a shit about what someone like me has to say, but, who knows? What was the one that... Yeah, Stranger Things. I kid you not. I'm sure the Duffer Brothers have no idea who I am or what I do, but it honestly felt like they went through my video that was criticizing season 3 and just addressed every point in it in season 4, because they seem to have acted on everything that I didn't like about season 3. But hey, who knows? Dashiell Milner says, I'm sick of males being belittled while females do what toxic males do. Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people have pointed out. It's like female characters now just exemplify all the traits that they used to hate in men, and it's like, apparently it's fine now when they do it. Really weird. Noxide says, one movie I discovered after playing Metroid Dread is Red Planet. It's pretty good. Give it a watch if you hadn't. Yeah, so that's Val Kilmer. I'm trying to remember that. I think they've put like this weird like insect stuff on. It's like a plague of locusts or something that they've put on Mars that can like terraform the planet, because they consume whatever's there and they emit oxygen. So it's random as fuck. But it's a little action movie. It's a little low budget action film, I guess. Daniel Monroe says, I forgot to ask you earlier, I've been a fan on Alien since I was 6. I'm working on an Alien novel between my main projects. Do you know if I'll get sued if I publish it? Yes, you would. So you would have to go to the rights owners, which I think is Fox, which means it's now Disney. So yeah, you can't just publish, canonical stuff from an established universe. You would get sued. Real Chicken Canada says, can you please do a recommends of Requiem for a Dream? What is this all Requiem for a Dream stuff? Like, yeah, it's a pretty bleak movie. It's an interesting one, but I don't know if I would recommend watching it necessarily. It's not the kind of film I get excited about seeing. Mark Henderson says, watched Nobody again last night. What a great fucking movie. Absolutely, yeah, it's great fun. John Rice says, good Mr. Drinker, sir. Have you watched T-34? A very fun tank movie with a fair amount of slow motion destruction. Well, that's always good fun. But no, I haven't seen T-34, actually. Is it a Russian-produced film? I'm wondering, because if it's told from their point of view, it might well be. Have I watched Jojo Rabbit? Yes, I think it's fantastic. It's probably the best that Taika Waititi's produced. Yeah, and I've done a review of it. So if you go on my second channel, yeah, I'm gushing over Jojo Rabbit. Damn, that's how you balance comedy with drama. It gets the balance just right. Just give me 1 second here. Masked Jackal says, I'd really like to see you reviewing Lonesome Dove. What, the TV show? Fucking hell, that's an old one. I remember that being on when I was a kid. Just Incredible says, hi drinker from your fans in Plymouth. What do you think of Love, Death and Robots on Netflix? I thought season 3 was a good return to form. Yeah, there's some fantastic episodes in there. Obviously it's an anthology series, so it's going to be really hit and miss. And yeah, there's some really weak episodes there, some just goofy ones and stuff, but some great horror, great drama. Some are quite poignant and moving. Yeah, I would recommend it for people who just want something a bit different. Each episode's like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes long, so they're not big. They're not going to take up a lot of your time, but yeah, there's some great stuff in there. Beyond the Aquila Rift, man. Woof. That's a chilling one. Night King 01 says, speaking of Patreon, that member stream, yeah, like I say, I'm on it, man. Purple Jam, have you seen AMC's The Terror? Great show. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's when they're maroons up near the North Pole. They're trying to find the Northwest Passage, and yeah, they start getting attacked by like polar bears and shit. Like there's kind of ghostly horror and stuff in it. But yeah, I like The Terror. I think it's a good setting for it, and the cast is great. Matthew Valente, I'm sucked. They're even making a sequel to Avatar, seeing how the first one came out a decade ago. Yeah, James Cameron waited way too fucking long with this one. If it had come out 2 or 3 years after the first one, he would have cleaned up. I don't know now. Like Kenny says, hi drinker, big fan. Have you seen Succession on HBO? What do you think of it? Also, what's your top 5 movies of all time? So, haven't seen Succession, I'm afraid. Top 5 movies, it's probably going to change like every time you ask me, but off the top of my head, Saving Private Ryan, Big Trouble in Little China, Falling Down, probably Top Gun Maverick at the moment, just because I had such a blast with it and I've got such nice feelings towards it at the moment. But again, that'll probably change. And last one, ones that I like watching or rewatching, should I say. This is always tough when I have to pick my favorites because there's so many. I'm trying to narrow it down. Probably Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan. That one just like gets me every time. I think it's probably the best Star Trek movie ever made, and yeah, it's just I've watched it a whole bunch of times. Never fails to entertain. Next one is Frightful Festive Fears. Says, damn, really wanted to go to Tampa Con. Couldn't fit it in the budget. That's understandable. Anyways, love the content, bro. Keep it up. Don't stop for anyone or anything. I absolutely won't. And yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't make it, man. But hey, maybe next time. Zootlander gave me 10 SEKs. I don't know what they are, but thank you. Jory Helmanen also gave me 300 of them. So I don't know what a sec is, but I appreciate the donations, gentlemen. Thank you. Richard Curtis says, I haven't seen Bullet Train, but I read the book by Kotaro Isaka. So I feel people saying it's too white could be valid. Hope people saying it's not too white aren't the people saying Rings of Power isn't white enough. Who knows? Everything becomes contentious at this point. But yeah, if it's written by like a Japanese author, then I'm presuming the cast was originally Japanese. Die Spear says, what's your thoughts on The Conjuring? I haven't seen The Conjuring, so I don't know, man. Minionator 1 says, Predator is a scary monster again. I mean, like I say, it does at least take itself seriously, and it lets the Predator actually be dangerous. So there is that. But it does become really fucking dumb towards the end. Just walks into very obvious ambushes. Toxic Crusader says, met you in Tampa and bought a book from you. Thank you. About halfway through, and it's pretty damn solid. Keep up the great work. Thank you, man. And yeah, thank you for buying the book. Confused Cabal says, Too bad Batgirl got cancelled. I legitimately wanted to see Brendan Fraser as Firefly. Greetings from Mexico. I did get to see a little bit of footage of him as Firefly. Yeah, he's still huge in the film. Like, he's obviously gained a lot of weight recently, and that's reflected in the movie. I think what they were going for is like he's this terrifying figure with his masks and his outfit on, and then when you unmask him, he's just kind of a schlubby middle-aged guy. I think that's what they were trying to do, but like I say, I only got to see a bit of like almost test footage of him in fight scenes and stuff. But yeah, it was interesting all the same. Arnie the Quiet Doom says, thanks to you, I've avoided the entire Disney everything. Good man. Thanks for taking a hit for the team. I watch it so you don't have to. Chris Lewis says, hey, drinker, leave that beer alone. You can make a song about that, but I'll never leave it alone. Evans says, I love how in the final fight, the Predator forgot how his equipment worked. Yeah. Oh, that was so fucking retarded. And killed himself. Reminds me of what happened from the 2018 Predator movie. Yeah, it does actually. You know that dude who blasts his own head off with a shoulder cannon? It's a bit like that. Like, it's got like a laser sight on its helmet, and it can fire these like homing projectiles, and whatever the laser sight's pointed at, those missiles will just hit it. And so, wouldn't you know it, strong female character points the laser sights at the Predator, and it doesn't really think about it and just fires the things, and that's all you get. That's it. Yeah, dumb as fuck. Thomas Wright says, if you like Ailstorm, check out Nano War of Steel. Nice, I will. OMG Puppies says, watch Sandman now. It seems quite true to the graphic novels, done in the UK with oversight from Neil Gaiman. Nice. Well, that sounds like a good combination. Aussie's Robots gave me $100 US, so thank you very much, my friend. Hey Drinker, unlike you, my videos are ad-libbed besides that opening, a non-woke museum in Point Vedra Beach, Florida, classic sci-fi themed vintage arcade machines, rarest toys in the world with monsters, 60s anime, etc. This October, hope you can come. P.S. What's your shirt size? Well, I mean, generally, I'm either a medium or a large with my shirts. And yeah, man, I'll need to see where I am. Apparently, I might be in New York in October for the Comic-Con there. We're just trying to see if we can get something sorted. So I'll do my best, mate. Scott Friends says, keep up the great work. Really enjoy your videos. Thank you, man. HC Frick says, did you link up with Hollywood Mersh when you were in Tampa? He's wearing aviators now because he wants to be you. I did not, I'm afraid. Sorry. Zodlander gave me 20 sex. Thanks for all the sex, man. Appreciate it. Tamo Davies says, I'm just asking that you were happy to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. He is the best Batman. Greetings from Liverpool. Indeed, yeah, I have a little bit of footage of him as Batman, a little bit behind the scenes stuff, and it was kind of cool. He genuinely seemed like he was happy to be there and happy to be doing it. So just a shame that you'll probably not get to see it ever. A Gypsy Bastard says, hey, what do you think of Highlander? Fantastic. I'm watching old movies now since today's are shite. Part 1, 4, and OST are amazing. In my opinion, pounding beers too, mate. Good on you, man, and enjoy them. Yeah, I love Highlander 1. The rest of them were pretty shit in comparison. But yeah, the first one's great. It's got a lot of charm to it. Wolfgar says, hi, Drinker. Have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil? It's a brilliant parody of the slasher genre, and I'd love to hear your take on it. Yeah, that's like basically where they're seen as the villains, but like they're just like, it's all a big misunderstanding, and they're trying to make amends. I remember it being quite funny. Prue36 gave me $2, so thanks, man. Jar of Mayo says, who do you have a better chance of surviving? Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, or Michael Myers? Not the actor. Tough one. I mean, Freddy can get you in your sleep, man, so there's no real avoiding that. You can only stay awake for so long. Jason and Michael are kind of identical, so there's not much in it between them. Yeah, I'd say Jason or Mike Myers would probably be your better chance of surviving. At least they're actual physical things that you can run away from. Prue36 says, is Dark Harvest a standalone book? Yes, it is. So you don't need to read anything else to enjoy it. Brutal's channel says, hi drinker, fellow Scott here. How are you doing, mate? I'm doing fantastic, thank you. I had a great time in Tampa, and I'm just glad to be back doing what I do. And I am out of beer, though, so that's a bit shit. Just curious, have you ever seen The Crow? It's one of my favorites. Yes, I have. And rewatched it recently because I did an interview with James O'Barr, who wrote the original comic and was quite heavily involved in the movie. So I interviewed him at Tampa. And gosh, he's quite a subdued chap, but he's very much in line with his characters in his comic, I suppose. But yeah, a really interesting movie. Feels like it was actually way ahead of its time. Like, it kind of probably should have been released like 10 years later. I just remember watching it as a fairly young kid, expecting just another like action-packed superhero movie, and that's absolutely not what The Crow is. But very stylized, very dark, very introspective, and yeah, pretty cool film overall. Like I say, it'd be interesting to review it retrospectively now. Ty says, "Do you mind reviewing The Running Man?" No, I don't mind. I don't mind reviewing that because it's a good film, and yeah, Arnold's always entertaining. It was like peak Arnold, really, mid-80s. Carnage5196 says, hey drinker, love your work. I wanted to get you updated feelings about The Last of Us Part 2. Saw a video essay defending the killing of Joel and Abby's arc, etc. It's this person's opinion, but I thought his logic was so flawed. I mean, it probably was. It's usually projection. They wanted to like the game, and so they invent reasons why everything in it works. When I reviewed it, I tried to present a whole bunch of other ways that you could have accomplished the same thing and had more emotional impact. Give the player a chance to get to know Abby as a character before she kills Joel, so that then you're conflicted with her. Have her portrayed as a really sympathetic character throughout the game, and then she like kills him in the climax or something, or halfway through perhaps, and totally swerves the game so you don't know how to feel about her. But when the first thing you see her do is murder like the most beloved character from the series, you're not going to come back from that. That was just fucking arrogance on the part of the writers. Luke the Awesome One says, hey drinker, what do you think the best scene in Northman was? That film was great. Best film I've seen this year, and so many good scenes. There was so many good scenes. I mean, the fight in the volcano, just from a visual point of view, was like incredible. I love the bit where he goes down into the underground tomb and he has to fight the guardian of like this sword. So it's like a longboat that someone's been buried in, and it's obviously all just like it's like a hallucination on his part, or it's like kind of metaphorical what you're seeing. But the way it's shot is just really interesting. It's brilliant stuff. And yeah, the mad acid trip that he goes on with his father when he's when he gets taken to see the shaman, like all of those things are brilliant. Like visually, stylistically, like directorially, that film is like a really interesting one to watch, and it definitely works. Like if rewatching it, I think you'll get more out of it a second viewing. Catching the spear, yeah, that was a boss move. I think you see it twice over as well. Like someone else does it in the movie during that fight scene. What's this? BTO the Radley one says, should check out Vengeance by BJ Novak. Not bad. I haven't seen BJ Novak do anything in a long time, so yeah, that'd be interesting. Rafa Canal says, drinker, please do a review about the best Brazilian movie ever made, Elite Squad. I've heard about this actually. Yeah, I need to watch it first. I just heard that it was quite entertaining. Downfall Network says, do you like any David Lynch good Subversion films? I'm not a huge David Lynch fan, I've got to be honest with you. Like his films kind of verge too far into weirdness for me, and yeah, they're not quite to my taste. But I'm just trying to think of Subversion films that actually work well. God, off the top of my head. It's not a film, but when you have TV shows like, say, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that subverted the whole trope of, like, you know, the damsel in distress getting attacked by monsters thing. I thought that was pretty good. You know, stuff like that. It's kind of funny, and just it's played in an interesting way. Claudio Rogojan says, "Did you see what John Boyega said about doing a Marvel movie on how you can't top Iron Man? Look it up; it's interesting. Also, you doing any other cons?" So yeah, hopefully I will be doing more. We'll get more lined up, and I'll be sure to announce them like well in advance so people know about it. I haven't seen what John Boyega has been saying though, but he's been pretty fucking based and honest about things since he left Star Wars. So yeah, be interesting to see what he's got to say. But yeah, you're going to struggle to top movies like Iron Man. They're just great. Killing Suckers said, "Heard they killed Keaton's Batman in Batgirl. I think Prey is overrated. A 100-pound person overpowers a predator twice. Shield cuts off a head and tree but can't snap her spear." Yeah, I can go on and on. 3 out of 10. I think 3 out of 10 is probably about right. 3 or 4. Yeah, a lot of that shit is just overplayed. I don't think they were planning to kill off Keaton in Batgirl. I think that was going to happen in Flash or, yeah, maybe Aquaman. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think by the end he was meant to become a mentor for her. Nick Lobiato says, "Can you review the Conan the Barbarian movies?" Well, I've covered the first one on like a happy hour. I did it with Andre because he's like an actual Viking dude from Midnight's Edge. But yeah, we enjoyed talking about that. Yeah, the other ones, they're not great. And then you got Red Sonja, which is basically a Conan movie in everything but name. But yeah, the first one was fantastic. Second one was kind of weak. And then Red Sonja was just a bit weird. But yeah, I'd be interested to talk about them sometime in a proper video. Dashiell Milner says, "Sorry for more than one super chat, but crossover with Tyrone Magnus." Yeah, we're trying to get it organized, man. Honestly, his schedule's terrible. He's like busy guy. And the past couple of times we wanted to have him on Open Bar. He wasn't able to make it. But he's absolutely up for doing it. And you're saying here, he loves your content and he has a great channel that is going for 10 million subs. Yeah, like I say, he's a good guy. I've spoken to him and he's totally up for coming on. We just need to find a time when we can get him. And Rachel Justice says, "What's your opinion on the live action Last of Us coming out with Pedro Pascal? Love your channel." I've got not much faith in Pedro Pascal, really. He seems like a bit of a dick in real life. I think he'll enjoy subverting Joel. He doesn't resemble Joel in the slightest way, so that seemed like a shit choice. And yeah, at this point, I don't trust them to make anything Last of Us related, particularly if, yeah, Naughty Dog have got a say in how it's written. Yeah, I just don't think they can do stuff like that now and actually, you know, give Joel a fair shake. I think it'll be all about Ellie. Yeah, someone said Last of Us will be another Resident Evil from Netflix. I could see that happening, by the way. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the reason was for hiring him. I know he's just like, he's a big name at the moment, like, because he's doing loads of things, but he would not be my choice to play Joel. Like, he doesn't even slightly look like him or sound like him. But hey, all right, here we go. This will be my last one for now because I'm tired. Hi Drinker, can you rank the Cornetto trilogy films from best to least best? Okay, so this is just going to be on my personal favorites. So, yeah, I'm probably going to put Hot Fuzz up there as the best. It is brilliantly written. It's brilliantly paced. They really had refined everything from Shaun of the Dead and got that perfect sweet spot. Shaun of the Dead's my second favorite because I love the zombies in it. It's so fun. It's so inventive. Yeah, again, the dialogue sparkles in it. It's really nicely cut. Yeah, that would be my second. And then World's End would be the least best. But that's the way I would definitely phrase it because all three of them are great films and they're all doing something a bit different and showing the actors and the characters at different phases in their life. But yeah, World's End is one of those ones that gets better the older you get. Like that ending, man, like talking about like missed opportunities and the regrets of growing older, like that hits pretty hard. But yeah, that's I guess tonight, right? I know that there's still a lot more super chats for me to do, and I'll absolutely get through all of them. But like, I sense that more will just keep coming in, so it'll be like a never-ending process. Which, don't get me wrong, is a fucking great problem to have. Like, oh no, people keep throwing money at me. What can I do? It's awesome, but I don't want to just half-ass it and like rattle through them as quickly as possible. So I'll do like a little catch-up stream, and I might do it offline and then upload it, so I'm not rushing through. But I think for tonight, like, yeah, I'll just finish up round about here because it's getting later and I'm kind of knackered. I feel like I'm still not back on UK time for some reason. I'm really shit at that. But thank you to everyone for doing this tonight. Thanks for tuning in and listening to me ramble. It was pretty unstructured tonight, and it's just me, But you got my undivided attention at least. But yeah, thank you for all these really generous super chats. Like, you guys have been great. Like I say, it was awesome to meet so many of you at Tampa. And hopefully when I do more Comic-Cons in different parts of the country, different parts of the world, I'll get to meet a lot more of you. But yeah, for now, at least, I'll keep you posted on further developments. But for now, I guess that's all I've got for today. So go away now.